We're going to return to our top story now, the death sentences given to 5 people in Saudi Arabia for the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Joining me now, Editor-in-Chief of the International Interest, Sami Hamdi. Sami, good afternoon to you. Thank you for coming in to talk to us. It's interesting, critics of these sentences handing down have basically said those who ordered this killing have been left untouched. Would you agree with that?
I think that's particularly true. I think we have to remember the context within which these executions are actually taking place. Bin Salman, when he launched his Aramco IPO, he was hoping that foreign investors would come and they would buy into his Vision 2030. When he realized that they were hesitant, that they didn't want to take part, and he had to rely on domestic investors and the UAE and the Kuwait, he realized he has to show himself to be a mature leader. That's why now we're seeing that he's open talks with the Houthis in Yemen to try to wind down the conflict. He's talking about reconciliation with the Qataris. He's praising Erdogan of Turkey to establish these ties, and he wants to put to bed the Khashoggi affair. He wants to put forward these scapegoats to say, look, guys, I found the killers of Khashoggi. Here they are. I'm about to execute them, and now we can put this matter to bed. This is what Bin Salman is actually trying to achieve. The problem is, however, given that Saudi Arabia kept bringing out a story and then retracting it, and then they sacked the right-hand man of Mohammed bin Salman, Saud al-Qahtani, and then they allowed him to continue with unofficial business, negotiating with firms in the US and the like. Everybody knows that this is just a cover-up that they're trying to do. So the reason is that Mohammed bin Salman knows that to this day that he has been unable to convince people in order to buy into his vision. He's worried that his position now is starting to become increasingly untenable. Because when you talk to investor circles, when I speak to clients and banks and these kind of things, they are saying that it's not a matter of if bin Salman will go. We are increasingly talking about a time when he will go, because he has not shown that he is capable of bringing about that economic diversification that they're looking for because of the volatility that he's brought to Saudi Arabia with regards to the Yemen war, with regards to Qatar. Moreover, when we look at this Kuala Lumpur summit that took place between Turkey, Qatar, Iran and Malaysia, this shows that even within that Muslim world, even within the Middle East, even within Asia, there is a move away from this Saudi orbit. Bin Salman is being rejected by these nations who are looking for an alternative. If Bin Salman, as head of Saudi, is unable to keep the Gulf nations in line, whether that's Qatar, which they're blockading, whether that's Oman, which is neutral, whether that's Kuwait, which has ties with Iran under the table. If Bin Salman can't keep these nations in line, and he can't keep the respect of these other nations that the US needs on board as well, what is the use of the Saudi leader? And this is why we see that this is just another part of Bin Salman's exercise to try to position himself as this capable leader in order to win back the trust of these investors.
So you see it as no more than a PR exercise for Saudi Arabia, which people may see through. It's interesting because Saudi Arabia is seen as the key to stability in the Middle East. So when you're talking about a change of leader in Saudi Arabia, how easy is that to bring about, and what would it do to tensions in the region?
I think we have to remember that Bin Salman was not the original choice for Washington as the leader of Saudi Arabia. It was Mohammed bin Nayef. Mohammed bin Nayef was renowned. He's a much older prince. He was renowned for these rehabilitation centers that he did to combat terrorism. He was a favorite of the CIA. The CIA were famous for giving him a prize, the only Saudi prince to receive such a prize, which was a clear indication that this is the man we want to become king. But when the UAE got on board, when Mohammed bin Zayed got on board and managed to help Bin Salman to engineer and orchestrate the downfall of bin Nayef and for him to take the position as crown prince, Washington were very hesitant. What Bin Salman did to try to convince Washington was, I will do everything you guys want me to do. Kushner's deal of the century, I'll sign off of it. I will go to the Palestinians, I will pressure them. I will enter the war I will be your bulwark against Iran. I will do everything that no other Saudi prince will have ever done. I will imprison religious scholars. I will remove the Islamic influence from society. I'll bring Drake, I'll bring Mariah Carey, I'll bring Nicki Minaj, I'll bring concerts, I'll bring halal disco, I'll bring all of these things. Mohammed bin Salman did that because he trampled on the family traditions in order to become crown prince. So he doesn't enjoy family support. He has to crack down on dissent to make sure that the Saudi people follow him. And as a result, because he's so dependent on that foreign support for him to maintain his position, this is why we see knee-jerk reactions. Knee-jerk reactions in Yemen, knee-jerk reactions to Iran, knee-jerk reactions to the Qataris. What we see with these movements, with regards to this announcement, with regards to the executions, we see a prince who feels that things are increasingly coming out of his grasp. We've seen on a number of occasions that the king himself has had to intervene. So with the Khashoggi case, it wasn't bin Salman who pushed out Saud al-Qahtani, the right-hand man. It was the king who came in and said, son, you can't have this man next to you. like kick him out. He has intervened on a number of occasions when he's felt that his son is losing control. And this is the sentiment. Now, I don't think necessarily that we're expecting regime change. I think with regards to Trump's situation in the initial stages of impeachment, with regards to the disarray that's taking place in the US, with regards to Russia increasing its influence in the region, I don't think we'll see regime change. However, what is clear is that everything depends on this Aramco IPO for Mohammed bin Salman. He needs it to succeed. But not only does he need it to succeed, he needs it to inspire that foreign confidence in his country. If he is unable to do that, then it loses its ability to be that linchpin of stability. And when it loses that, then we can talk about regime change.
OK, Sami Hamdi, interesting insight. Thank you very much. Editor-in-Chief at the International Interest, reacting to the sentencing of those involved in the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi.